for a striker. How close are they to getting it over the line?
It feels like, for the first time in a number of windows, Arsenal fans are finally going to get to see the magic number 9 walk through the door at the Emirates. It's been the position that they've been coveting. It's the position they've been desperate for the club to go and action. And it feels like finally we can start to talk about this deal getting closer. Now, how close is the question? We know that Arsenal are pushing hard and they are in advanced talks at the moment. There's been no club-to-club agreement between Sporting and Arsenal, but the conversation continues between the two football clubs. There are some reports out there suggesting that Viktor Gyökeres has told his friends, yeah, I'm only interested in Arsenal. Arsenal's a team for me, Arsenal's a team I want, and that he's also made that quite clear to the hierarchy at Sporting Lisbon. Sporting, as far as they're concerned, I guess, Dharmesh, they know they've pretty much lost the player. He's played as many games as he's going to play at Lisbon. And what an incredible 2 years it's been. 97 goals in 102 appearances. It is simply phenomenal. Hence why now we're talking about this potential move. Maybe that celebration will be seen in the Premier League not too far away.
Yeah, just to add to that, Mark, Arsenal thought to be encouraged by the player's desire to join. Personal terms not expected to be a problem, but in a fresh development, Sporting have given Gyokeres permission to delay his return for pre-season. Now, we know pre-season gets underway for a lot of clubs, not only in the Premier League, but around Europe tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's a week after some of his teammates. That's when he was due back. So some of them have actually gone back a week ago. But he's now been given until Friday as these talks with Arsenal progress. And there is no certainty, given what you've just been saying, that he's going to return at all. Now, you did say, despite these talks being advanced, there's no club-to-club agreement just yet. What is it going to take for there to be this club-to-club agreement?
Well, this feels like a little bit of a grey area. Now, normally when we go into transfer negotiations and we're talking about them, we've got a bit of an idea about what the price is the selling club are looking for. Normally it's the first question you'll ask your contacts. OK, fine, but how much is it going to cost to get this deal done? Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because there were rumoured reports that when Viktor Gyökeres went to Sporting Lisbon from Championship side Coventry, there was a release clause inserted into that contract that was €100 million, which is around £80 million. Now, he's 27 years old, and even the president of Sporting, Federico Varandas, has come out and said, look, we know we're not going to get £80 million for a 27-year-old striker. No one from Portugal is going to leave for that kind of money. So therefore, we have to be sensible, and we have to understand that actually, if we're going to recoup back some of the cash we invested and get this kind of sum into the club, we're going to have to soften our approach on this rumoured release clause. Now, there were suggestions it was around £59 million.
Yeah, because there was that rumour, wasn't there, that Viktor Gyökeres had some sort of agreement with Sporting that he could leave for that amount of money.
Yeah, but gentlemen's agreements in football, rarely do they ever seem to work out. You hear about these things, and you've probably heard about them a number of times over the years between certain players and certain owners, but very often the agreement is always not quite on the same page. Now, we did say that we understood it to be 59 million. However, Federico Varandas has come out and said there's absolutely no chance that Viktor Gyökeres will be leaving for £59 million in this window.
Arsenal appear to be edging closer to a major summer signing, with reports suggesting an £80 million deal for Sporting CP striker Viktor Gyökeres is nearly complete. The Swedish forward has been one of Europe's most in-demand attackers after a sensational season in Portugal, where he netted 43 goals and provided 15 assists across all competitions. Arsenal have been tracking him for months, and sources now indicate that personal terms are agreed, with only final contract and payment structure details left to sort. Mikel Arteta is said to be a huge admirer of Gyökeres, viewing him as the missing piece in Arsenal's push for the Premier League title. With Gabriel Jesus struggling for fitness and consistency, the addition of a proven, powerful striker could transform the Gunners' attack. If finalised, this deal would make Gyökeres one of Arsenal's most expensive signings ever, signalling their intent to challenge both domestically and in the Champions League next season. Fans should keep an eye out, as official confirmation could be just around the corner.